Dipped with sweet and hot. And here we go. I'm
And
sorry.
that's the remix. What's up, family? I'm Melanie Lauren.
I'm Holly Chanel, and this is Dipped with Sweet and Hot.
Yes.
Ooh, we got a special episode for you. I can't wait to get into it. How you doing, friend?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Happy to be talking to you on this afternoon. Happy to be talking to some guests that we're going to bring on in a little while. And happy to be continuing our discussions on Black love that we've been having. It's been so beautiful.
We should, if I were writing like a thesis, like a PhD, I would like title it Black Love Beyond Love and Basketball.
Here we go with the rom-com references once again. You know what I mean if you listen to a previous episode.
There's something about a Black rom-com that just really does it for me. Like,
obviously, yes.
Picture it, friends, like a dreary day. There's a little chill, a little nip in the air, and you don't have much to do, and you curl up with a
First of all, hold on. It's summertime right now. I'm not trying to imagine anything with a nip in the air.
Listen, I live in Chicago. The weather changes when we can get 4 seasons in a single whole day. I was chilly earlier today. They said the temperature was 78. Now, it could be because, the co-working space in my building keeps the air conditioner on frigid.
Antarctica.
On Antarctica. So maybe that's what I was feeling. But nevertheless, earlier today,
it's got you feeling like fall.
It's got me feeling like fall. And I need a little best man in my life. Like,
okay, well, fair enough. But we are going to be talking about a different kind of Black love today.
She's so sick of me in these Black rom-coms, y'all.
We are going to be talking about the love between Black mothers and their children today. Ooh, that's a good one. Yes, a lot that can go into that. But before we do,
I promise you, my mom just got nervous. If she's listening to you, mother, I love you. Okay, just remember that.
Relax. Let's do sweet and hot. I can take sweet.
You got something sweet?
I can take something sweet because it's actually a piggyback off of my hot from the previous episode.
We love updates, honey.
Yes. So last time I was hot about outside being so expensive, right? Everything from vacations to a single soul solitary slice, overpriced slice of stale caramel cake. Okay. I went on a little bit of a rant. So now what I would like to say is praise Black baby Jesus.
Come on.
I have found an affordable vacation. I was actually at the point where I was going to cut my vacation by a day because of the prices. But I found something, y'all. I found something that I can afford. It is 5 nights. It has all the amenities in the location and the places that I wanted to visit. Because one of my things was I wanted to go someplace I haven't always been. So, I have like favorite places in my mind. Like, I can go back there. I've been there before. I like it. But I wanted to go to a place I had not been before. I found something and it's not going to break my bank.
I love
and
this.
I just hope that it's not gross and dirty when I get there.
Do we know how many stars or is it just a crapshoot?
4.
Okay.
It's 4. Now I gotta know that. Like your girl wants to go to vacation, but some things Lewis said it sounds sketchy. There's some things that I have to know. That's the thing. People in the audience, you may not know this about me. The reason this is so sweet for me is because I am a researcher.
Oh, my word.
Especially if it's something that I'm getting ready to spend a considerable amount of money on, like a vacation. I'm digging in. I'm looking at stuff online. I'm looking at reviews. I'm doing price comparisons. I'm calling the guest services at said resort or hotel to ask questions because not everything is posted online. Even in the FAQ section, there's things they don't tell you. And I got to get this specific details, and I need to get a read on what your level of customer service is like. If it's attitudes on the phone and it sounds like you don't want to help me, it's not looking good for my experience at your establishment. So I've been digging into this. I'm not exaggerating, for hours of my life, hours across multiple days.
Weeks.
And I found, weeks. And I
Weeks.
found some, look, had a couple plans, had to go back and refund it because I didn't like how they talk to me on the phone. You know what I'm saying? So then we had to go back to square one. So we there though, and I will report back.
I
That's sweet for
appreciate
me.
your research. So, friends, y'all should know something. When it comes to traveling, I'm a bad friend because I let Melanie do all of this stuff. If we traveling together, I'm gonna go ahead and let her do all of that because she's. Because here's the thing, like if I go do it, she's gonna ask me like 17 questions that I don't care about the answer to. And she'll be like, well, these are questions that I need the answer to. I'm like, oh, okay then. Yeah. So that might have happened one good time. And I was just like, how about this? You go plan it and I'll pay extra. How about that? Thanks.
Hollee said time is money. I'm just gonna throw this money at it.
I will throw money at a thing. Like, so for instance, like she'll call me and she'll be like, okay, if we stay an extra day, we actually save money. I'll be like, all right, cool. Like, this is a click. But
it's a balance, friends. It works.
It works. It's a delicate balance. That's why, you know, sometimes I'm sweet, sometimes she hot, vice versa. But I'm gonna tell you why I'm hot this here week.
Okay, well, let's know.
Especially on today, as we talk about vacations. I'm in sore need of a vacation. And that will be handled on most expeditiously. However, I am becoming reacquainted with the NAP ministry. I'm becoming very reacquainted with the NAP ministry. I've been busy in life, and you know, sometimes you just forget like the beauty that a good nap can have.
Oh, I've never forgotten.
Like, well, sometimes I forget. So on today, I was attempting to continue my reacquaintance with the NAP ministry, and I come into my apartment to take said nap, and the construction people, a couple of floors ahead, are drilling for the gods. I don't know if they're mining for gold or
full on demolition,
or if they're looking for Jesus. I'm not sure, but
they won't find him. But okay,
they won't find him.
Not down in the floor.
But in the meantime, I did not get my nap. I'm a little surly, so friendly dippers, I cannot be responsible for what happens on this episode. I tried to take a nap. They wouldn't let me be great. Okay.
Well, you know what? That makes for good podcasting. Okay. Highly sleep deprived. That probably means the filter is lower. Should be a good time. I am sorry, though, that you didn't get your nap, because I, too, am part of the nap ministry, and I frequently let him use me.
Yeah.
Okay. I let him use me. You let him use you. It's a blessing to be able to take naps.
Listen,
I value them.
I think Melanie, I think you might be the deacon of the ministry.
Pastor, president, and CEO. I don't know how this thing is structured. But I'm at the top. I'm at the top. So welcome. Yeah. And I'm glad you've joined. And we're gonna lift up in prayer that construction situation.
Thank you.
So that your ministry can go forth.
Amen and ashe. I appreciate that. My goodness. Now, speaking of naps, I'm getting reacquainted with the nap ministry because my mother was a sleep addict. My pediatrician, Dr. Mark Weisbluth, was known as the sleep doctor. Yep. Known as the sleep doctor. My mama believed. And to this day, I'm telling y'all, at my big age, if I get on the phone with my mama and I'm slightly irritable, she'd be like, you need a nap, don't you?
Uh-oh. That's that mama. We about to talk about mamas and
kids. These mamas and kids. And like, there was a point where I'd be like, mama, stop telling me to take, I'm grown. I ain't gotta take no naps.
And then you hung up the phone and lay down.
And when I took a nap, I felt much better too.
I know it.
Much better too. So at this time, I would like to invite our dearest guest to the podcast. Dear friends and niece of mine, because y'all know Auntie Hollee collects them, like 40 going north. Please welcome Geri Cooper and Kiersten Cooper to the podcast, mother and daughter.
Hey, y'all.
Hey.
Welcome in. Thank you for being with us.
Of course. Thank you.
All right. So
I wish y'all could see them. They look so cute. They sit here. I'm gonna have to take a little screenshot and we'll show it to y'all. They look so cute.
Not only do they look cute, I definitely had to tell super producer which one was the mother and which one was the daughter, because Jerry, she don't age. I don't know what it is. Do you have the fountain of youth, sis?
And if you do, don't gatekeep.
Please.
Just really good skincare. I mean, that's water.
Okay.
I drink no sodas, no pops, just,
Oh, well, I'm already okay. I'm good. I'm already on that.
You good. You
As
good.
Holly takes a
Y'all
sip
good.
of something, we don't know what's in that cup.
No, I'm sleep deprived, so I'm not gonna drink no liquor because that could go left. Okay.
But yes, you look great, sis. Mom and daughter. Y'all are beautiful. Thank you for being on the show.
So we are talking about Black love this season, and we thought it important to highlight the mother-parent relationship. And when we were thinking about guests that we wanted to bring on, I was like, oh my gosh, I know the perfect pair. So, Melanie, do you want to? I know you had a good question to kick us off here.
Okay, yeah. I'm gonna do like look, they look as they look at each other nervously. No, really, I'm curious to hear how you guys each individually answer this question. So just to orient our viewers, Geri is mom, Kiersten is daughter. Kiersten is, if I'm not mistaken, on her way to college soon in a few months. So I'm sure we've got a proud mom on here who's also going to be having some mixed feelings as one flies the coop, as they say, a little bit later. But I would be curious, as you guys now presumably have 17, maybe 18 years in a relationship under your belt together. I'll start with you, Kiersten. How would you describe your relationship with your mother?
My relationship with my mother is very open. I can say that. My mother is somebody that I can always come to and talk to. And even though I don't be wanting to listen, she gives the best advice. She's like my best friend. So I tell her everything. That's how our relationship is.
Aww.
Okay. That's so cute. Mom, what would you say? If someone were like, describe your relationship to your daughter, and maybe even if she wasn't sitting right next to you, how would you describe it?
I would also say that it's an open relationship. I had Kiersten at a very young age. I was like right out of high school when I got pregnant. So she's kind of grown up with me. I would say it's open. Also to the point where sometimes I have to relay and let her know I'm the mama. I had we have a good dynamic, a good relationship where we can talk with one another. I would say that's the best word to describe it. It is open. She's becoming my little friend.
Right.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
First, she used to be, I ain't your little friend.
I ain't your little
now
friend.
She's becoming your little friend. Okay, I like it. Evolution.
Yeah, that transition is important though too, because that can be difficult for a lot of parents and a lot of mothers, especially as your oldest gets ready to fly the coop. So, Geri, can you talk? Kirsten's like, I'm gone. So Geri, can you talk a little bit about what you might be currently feeling? Because I mean, you just came off of the whole prom and graduation season and all of that, and we're careening into send off to college. So
at first, everybody's like, "Have you cried yet?" And I'm like, "No, I ain't cried. I'm a G. I ain't crying. I'm good." But as the days are getting closer, Miss Countdown, what are we at? 20 days?
No, we're at 1 month and 4 days.
Ooh. 1 month, 4 days away. It's kind of getting a little scary because I've been telling myself that you have to, you gotta trust what you've instilled in her. You gotta let it go. But it's the something in me that still wants to hold on, but also give her space to grow. Even though I'm confident in what me and her father have instilled in her, it's still like she's still my baby. I don't want to completely let her go, which is why I'm staying like a whole week the first week of school.
But you know what? My parents did that too, though. So you don't have to say where you're going, what school, but let me just ask, is it out of the city or is it out of state?
Yes.
Okay. So my parents did that too. Like we all took a trip, and the way my school was set up, we had like 4, maybe even 5 days of freshman orientation activities. And so my parents like stayed that whole like 4 days to help me get set up in the dorm and stuff like that. So I'm just saying I can relate to that from the other end. My parents did that with me.
And Geri, my niece went to college last year. How about when she got up there, her daddy stayed a whole week. And then as soon as he left the next day, Auntie Hollee was there just to look at her in her face to make sure, all right, it's been a week. You okay? All right, we good.
Yes, I love that.
And rest assured, Auntie Holly knows where Kiersten's gonna be. So I'm gonna come look you in your face too. Okay. All right. All right.
She will pop up now.
Listen. Now, Kiersten, I have an interesting question for you. What is the hardest conversation you've ever had to have with your mother that you are willing to share publicly?
The hardest conversation I've ever had to have with my mother is probably how far I wanted to go for school. I feel like it was really hard for her to understand, like, I can't stay where I am. I can't stay here. I have to blossom out to go where I want to go and just get to experience my own story, my own place of home. So that was probably the hardest conversation for the both of us. She didn't really understand it until I kind of like sat her down and was like, Ma, like, I really want to do this. I want to do it for me. It's not just for the fun. It's for something I actually wanted to do.
Ooh.
Do you feel like she heard you and understood what you said at the end of it?
I do, because I'm going where I want to go. So.
And Geri, what changed your mind?
I was an advocate for her going away, like having the college experience, because like I went to college, but I was pregnant. So I was here, I was at home. And so my journey was a little bit different than hers. So I respected the fact that she wanted to go away. I just didn't understand why she had to go somewhere where we got to hop on a plane. Like a quick little northern drive was good for me. I was fine. You know, Southern is a little far, but I was even cool with Southern. Chicago downtown is really nice. You know, UIC got good views. I don't get it. But I had to take myself back to the place of I too wanted to go away. And I had to put myself back in that time frame and be like, okay, she gonna be all right. And also where she's going, there are other individuals like family who will be there. Like, you know, if I got a call and I can't hop on a plane real quick, there's somebody that can reach out and touch her.
I know
Absolutely.
that's very important. It's
Oh,
very
yeah.
important. And Kiersten, I can relate because let me tell you how my parents tried to bribe me with a car.
Yours too?
At every school, I applied to 5 schools as a senior in high school. I applied to 5 colleges. None of them were in state. And as we got closer and closer to decision time and application time, because you know you got to get those applications in early, you know, my mom would be like, well, you know, if you go to so-and-so that's here, we probably have enough money to get you a car that first year. So,
because you'll be helping the family out.
You know, and I was like, no, I'm leaving. That car was not good, but I left.
Let me tell you something. My grandmother was the one who bribed me with the car because I was going to an all-girls school. She was like, she gonna get up there and be a hoe. Love you, Granny.
You won't do that close by.
Have you met me? Anyway, no, I'm joking. She kids. But it was my grandmother. She made one trip to my college and it was for graduation. And when she got on campus, she looked at me and she was like, I get it now, baby. Well done. That was probably one of the best moments me and my grandmother ever shared. So yeah, I totally get it. Totally get it.
Yeah, I think that allowing independence, you know, in your children is a very admirable trait. It sounds like it was important to you, Geri. I'm curious, especially with the mother-daughter relationship, right? So one of the things that I was thinking about when we talk about Black moms and their kids, I don't know, you've probably heard it said, there's this narrative in our society that Black mothers raise their daughters and love their sons. Or sometimes people say the reverse. They love their sons, but they raise their daughters, making a distinction between how Black mothers approach growing up their daughters versus how they approach raising or growing up their sons. And so I'm curious about both of you all's thoughts on that. And what are your thoughts about that idea? When people say that, what is your reaction to it? And do you feel like you've seen that in your own life as a mother, as a daughter, or just around you?
Well, I can definitely say I agree with that. I mean, you can kind of say, well, depending on what your individuals that are around you, you kind of see that. You see like my mother for sure preached, go to school, get your education, have your own, depending on what type of background you come from or what type of household you were raised in, that determines I believe, the type of outcome, you know, what you project onto your children, you know, the individuals that you're raising. So my mom being a single mom and I'm the only kid, it was always make sure that you have something for yourself. Make sure that you go to school so you can be able to take care of yourself. Me being in a household where it is a two-parent household for me and my kids, I have always advocated for them to do what they feel. The freshman year of Kiersten's high school, she didn't want to go to college. I was okay with that. You're going to do something. You don't have to necessarily go to college. You can go to trade school. You can pick up a trade. You're going to do something. College does not have to always be the end all and be all. So that was a difference that we changed in our household. You can't be a bum. You got to do something. But it doesn't necessarily mean you're not less than if you don't go to go get your degree. There's plenty of ways that you can find your niche out here these days. But you definitely see more women, especially Black women, more educated. They're drilled to, you got to do this, you got to act this way, you can't dress this way, you can't be like that. And it does appear that when you see guys or boys, they can do whatever they want to do. And mama is always there to welcome you in.
That's a conversation starter right there. Go ahead, friend.
Triggered.
For us, and how we changed it in our household was, you're going to do something. And kind of took a little bit from other cultures. We're not going to tell you what to do, but here are some highly good suggestions on what you should be doing. You don't know what you want to do? Here's real estate. You know how I know? Because I'm in real estate, and this is what you can do. And this is something that is, lucrative depending on what field you go in with it. I do believe that us as women, we've been told, we're raised a little bit more structured, or it's drilled into us that we have things that we have to do. And it can appear that the guys don't have the same agenda that we're given.
Now, may I ask, because part of our audience, I'm going to let you answer too, Kiersten, but I'm just curious. Do you have any sons, or do you have daughters?
3 girls.
3 girls. Okay. All right. Okay. So what you got to say?
That's why I said it can appear, because I haven't raised a boy, but I have cousins, I have uncles, and you can see, even like with friends who got siblings, you can see the difference between the girls and the boys. And I'll just say that.
Okay, Kiersten, what you got to say?
I agree. I feel like, to piggyback off from what my mother said, I feel like moms normally coddle their sons a little more than they do their daughters. So I feel like that's probably the difference, just like growing up in school, or just, being around my cousins and stuff, because I don't have any brothers. I feel like that's the difference. Mothers kind of like lean to coddle their sons more than they do their daughters.
And why, I'm curious, from someone who's, just graduated high school and at a different place in life than I am. Why do you think that is? If that's true that some mothers take that approach with their son that's different than their approach with their daughter, why in your mind do you think that might be?
I kind of feel like it's more pressure on your daughter to go out there and do something to society rather than your son. Because like, if your daughter is just, in the house, your daughter's fast, she's this, she's that. There's not really many stereotypes with having a son.
I'm just gonna say that I'm triggered. That's a totally different episode, because I have 2 older brothers, and neither here nor there.
And I will also say, in full disclosure, I don't have any biological brothers. I have plenty of male friends that I've had in my life where I've had that type of relationship. But I didn't get a chance to see in my household growing up. I didn't get a chance to firsthand feel a difference between how I was raised versus how a brother might have been raised. But like Hollee is an example, most of my closest friends have brothers. Actually, strangely, most of my closest friends have 2 brothers. I'm thinking of like 3 of my closest friends, or maybe even 4, and they all have 2 brothers. And the conversations that I've heard from them about what it was like, their experience growing up versus what they feel like they saw and experienced in their households and in their families with their brothers, it is very different. And like you said, they felt that it was different. Like you said, it appeared different, Geri. And so I think it's just very interesting, and we could probably spend hours talking about that. But We don't want to get anyone on here more triggered than they already are.
I'm
Holly
fine.
has
I'm
already
okay.
identified that she is.
Okay.
We're gonna move
I'm
on.
healed, and it took a lot of therapy. Okay. Praise
Okay.
God. Love you, Susan. You touched on this a little bit earlier, Geri. Is there, or can you talk about the differences between the way that you mother and the way that you were mothered? Oh, Kiersten's like, oh, this is a good one.
I will say that I took a little bit of what I like from how I was mothered and a little bit of how I wanted to be mothered and turned it into my own.
Okay.
Like I said, my mom was a single mom, so it's one individual in the house. I had a lot of responsibility. My mother took care of my great great grandparents. So I had to assist with that. I had quite a bit of, a little bit of responsibility. I was a latchkey kid, as they call it, when you come in the
Yep.
house. Doors, don't answer it. You knew, and my mom worked multiple jobs as well, so there wasn't a lot of available time. Most of my mom's time consisted of like monetary to make up for the time that wasn't able to be spent. And my mom kept me in a lot of activities and stuff like that as well. I had to get myself to them sometimes, but she still made sure that I was involved in things musically, and things that I was interested in. She introduced me to things, restaurants. If she didn't take me on vacations, if somebody else wanted to take me, my mama made sure that it happened. So I took, like I said, a mixture of what I liked and what I didn't have, and tried my best to pour it into my kids. Now I know I didn't do 100% because they do not come with manuals. I did take of what I like from my mom. Like I said, I made sure that they stayed in activities. I made sure they did something. Once I found or recognized their niche and what it is that they love, I fed and poured into that. I make sure my kids go to restaurants so that when somebody's dusty son take them out, they don't think that Red Lobster is a 5-star restaurant.
Shots fired.
My kids go on vacations, they have passports. So there are things that I made sure that I do with them, and time. And I'm allowed that time to spend with them also because there is another parent in the house. So it's two of us. I do recognize that aids in it as well. I might not have the same story if it was just one of me, because one of me with 3 kids is a lot. Is that all love 3 totally different things. So that's the difference of what I do with them. I fed off of what I liked and what I didn't like and try to remix it.
So question, and I hope she don't get mad at me. How does your mother feel about that?
You know what? My mom tells me all the time how proud of me she is.
Ah, that's beautiful.
Like all the time. So I would say she loves it. Me and my mom had actually had a conversation, and she was like, well, what do you think that I could have done differently as a mother? And the only critique, I have no business critiquing, but the only critique that I could give is just the time aspect. And I don't hold that against you because you had to do what you had to do.
Absolutely.
Right. I think that's wonderful that you all were able to have that conversation, and that's a way to share love right there. Like just conversations like that.
You have to be able to, and I have this conversation with my mom about her mom. We have to accept our parents for how they were and where they were at that time. And we can't always fault them. There's some things that as you get older, you have to cry that bridge and literally get over it. They did the best that they could at that time. And I'm not going to
what they had. Yep.
With what they had.
Absolutely. So Kiersten, I'm watching your face as your mother speaks. It's warming my heart that you are smiling and in such agreement with your mother, right? So I'm going to ask you a little bit of a nuanced question, if you will. You are the oldest of 3 siblings, right? I know the mother too get on your nerves sometimes. I've seen it in action. It's hilarious, right? Are there things, because, as the oldest sibling, sometimes you have some care responsibilities here and there. As you get older, are there things that you have heard your mother say throughout your life that now that you're the oldest sibling and you see your younger siblings going through it, you're like, dang it, that's what she meant. Ah, I see why she had us do this. I hated it at the time, but now it makes more sense. Are you starting to see any of that as you enter into adulthood?
Yes, I'm starting to see
She
it
reluctantly says yes.
just a little bit because I feel like mom used to tell me, like, like you have to do what you're supposed to do before you do what you want to do. And I didn't understand at the time. I'm like, but I just want to do what I want to do. But now I'll be looking at them like, no, you got to do what you got to do before you do what you want to do, or it's just not going to come to you like that. So I get it now.
Ooh.
Experience is the teacher, ain't it? Huh?
Look at that work in action, Jerry. Come on,
That's
mama.
good.
Come on,
I
mama.
say that so much, and I'm like, do y'all hear me? You gotta do what you have to do so that you can do what you want to do.
Yeah, she got it. She heard it. She's saying it
Same
herself now,
inflection
Mom.
and everything.
Oh, that's good. So y'all saying the same phrases, y'all laughing and smiling. You guys obviously have a great relationship as you both described. So I'm curious, how would you two say that you deal with conflict in your relationship when you don't agree? How?
No, I'm joking.
Dad is like the peacemaker when it comes to the both of us. He say we
No.
Dad says we are so much alike. Our conflicts be like attitude. And I have to tell Kiersten delivery. And then Dad be like, but mama, do you hear your delivery? And I be like, that's not the conversation.
We not talking about me though.
We're not talking about me. So having kids can really be a self-reflection on yourself. So sometimes I do have to take a breather and be like, she's acting the way she's acting, or she's saying the things that she's saying because it's being displayed to her. So I try to tell her, Kiersten. So now, like if I say something to her and I'm trying to correct her, I've gotten into a habit of telling her, Kiersten, I'm telling you this so that you don't be like this. You have to think of it on a different level, and everything is not a personal attack. When I'm talking to you and I'm saying something to you, I love you. I'm not trying to say anything that's going to hurt you. I'm trying to give you constructive criticism to help you along the way so that you can be further than me. But
Baby,
Dad,
these Kiersten eye rolls are so severe.
if you Dad, because he got to hear about her from me, and then he got to hear about me from her. So
And he said, now look, something got to give.
so yeah.
Yeah, girl, I love you too, but I agree. My father definitely be coming in there fixing it because when we do have conflict, it just be us trying to express how we feel to one another. Like it's not like, oh, we going back and forth. It's just like I want you to hear what I'm saying and you want
Yeah, because we ain't doing no back and forth.
Okay. All right.
Two places you ain't going, huh?
Right.
Back and forth.
But
You not going there. Okay.
I love it. I love it. You know what? So the one thing that I noticed that I would really like to highlight, Geri, is the fact that you are highlighting your partner in this relationship with your daughter and with your children. And I think that that is a beautiful thing. It should happen more. And Melanie.
Uh-oh. What's up?
Yeah, I just had an idea.
Okay, let's go with it.
We're talking about Black mothers. I think that we should do another episode with Black fathers.
Yes.
And bring Titus Cooper on.
Okay. Okay. Now she's saying this, y'all, with some side eye and with there's a certain inflection in her voice because I actually have met Mr. Titus Cooper, and he is a hoot and a half. And if we bring him on, we'll get to know that.
You have been, consider this your warning. Okay. Consider this your warning.
I think we should. I think in general, it would be great to do because just like we're sitting here and delving into the relationship between Black mom and children, to delve into the relationship between Black father and children, I think would be really good too. So, dipped audience, y'all can look forward to that. We're gonna try to make that happen.
So, I got one more question. What is you all's hope for one another and you all's relationship?
You want me to go first? My hope for Kiersten is that she takes this new journey that she's going on and excel higher than even my expectations of her. And for our relationship, I hope that it just continues to grow. The distance doesn't, dwindle us, our relationship, even if she decides to stay where she's going, that she will always remember that I'm your friend, but I'm also and always will be your mother.
Oh,
That's so beautiful.
I'm not gonna cry today, y'all.
Misty eyed over here. Okay, go ahead.
All right, I'm all right. I'm okay. Kiersten.
Okay. My hope for my mother is to always remember that no matter where I go, no matter where I am, I'll always be her baby and she'll always be my girl. And for our relationship, I definitely hope that it grows, because just because I'm far away doesn't mean that we're not going to be on the phone every day.
Y'all heard that, right? Every day.
It is being recorded. Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
But just for my mother to always remember that it's me and her through everything.
Oh.
I definitely love that. And you know what? That reminds me that's so beautiful, y'all. And we didn't pass the not tearing up test. It reminds me of something that my mother has said to me my entire life. And I'm going to keep it short because I'll start to cry. My mother, ever since I was, as they say, yay high, my mother would be like, remember, your mom, your best friend.
That's it.
I'm your best friend.
You hear that, Gail?
Like,
that's my mama.
Gail is Holly's mom.
That's my mama.
And my mom.
Love you, lady.
Love you too. Love you too, mama. But no, that's what she would say. She would say, and with a certain inflection in her voice, might change depending on the context of the conversation. But she would say, your mother's your best friend now. And in a way, like, and don't you forget that. And I think it was so loaded because she was saying everything that you all just said. Like, I got your back like nobody in this world will have your back. And I'm going to stop there because I'm going to cry. But I'm going to ask y'all something. I'm going to ask you. Holly said that was the last question. But I'm going to ask y'all.
My bad.
No, it's okay because I got one too. Because I'm thinking about our audience. And there might be people out there in our audience who are listening to this beautiful relationship that this Black mother and this Black daughter have, but they might be struggling in their own relationships that they have with their children, their daughters, their sons, their children, whatever, however they identify. And so I'm just curious what each of you all might have to say as like something that you think Black parents, Geri, can do more to express love to their children, so that their children feel loved. It could be something that you've done yourself as a parent or something that you've seen other people do or that you see a need for, I guess, when you think about Black parent-child relationships that you see. What is something that you think that could help Black parents in their relationships, within their love relationships with their children?
Coming from the era of do what I say, don't ask no questions. It's that way because you live in my house, all of those things that we have heard. I think it could really be something simple as listening, like literally taking the time. Take your feelings out of it. I had to learn this. It's simply just listening. It's okay to tell your kids, all right, now watch your tone. You can tell me what you want to tell me, but it's how you're going to tell it to me. And then sometimes as parents, we have to realize in angry moments that the kid is really hurt, that tone is just straight anger and not a personal attack on us per se. So it can sometimes be as simple as sitting down, even if y'all got to take a break or take a pause and coming back to it, sitting down and having those conversations. What was the issue in that moment? What was the problem? How would you have liked for me to handle it? And if you don't like their response, still allow for them to tell you how it is that they would have wanted you to say to them. But then as the adult, correct them or let them know what it is that you were trying to display or what it is that you were trying to say to them, especially when you both are angry. And if you can't do that individually, it doesn't have to be a therapist, but if you have somebody that can be the mediator, the middle person to say, this is what the child was saying, this is what the parent was saying, that could really help the understanding between, a parent and a child.
I love that. I call it giving explanations, because we came from that because I said so era.
And these kids are not taken because I said so. It's a why. Why can't I? And it's like back in the day, do you know you'll get popped for asking me like I'm an adult?
But that's what comes with having so much knowledge at your fingertips available. And my mama could lie to me 5 ways to Sundays, and I would know no better back in the day because I didn't have Google. Now my mama try to lie to me, I'll be like, you wrong.
Hey Siri.
Hey Siri, exactly.
Ask a question. Okay, Kiersten. So I have the same question for you though, but like from the child's perspective or from the daughter. I'm saying child, even though I know you're blossoming into a beautiful young lady. What is something, I guess, from the child's perspective, if they're struggling in their relationship with their parents? What is something that you think that children, preteens, teens could do to express love to their parents and let their parents know that they love them?
Stop spending all their money. I'm sorry, you were saying, Kiersten?
Well, that's our job now. Look.
I feel also, I agree with what my mother said, absolutely to listen, but also to gather a understanding of where the parent is coming from. Because at the end of the day, everybody has feelings, and you may have been feeling a way at that time, but also remember that your mother or your father or your guardian is also feeling a certain way. So just take in mind of what you say and of course how you say it, but also the feelings that come with it.
I'm hearing
what
a
I'm
lot
hearing.
Of empathy and
I was about to
compassion.
say, you took the words out of my mouth, friend. What I'm hearing is empathy. The takeaway is empathy. And recognizing, just trying to put yourselves in the other person's shoes just for a second. And that could really do a lot to nurture and grow the love in these relationships between parents and children.
And I am so, I'm getting choked up. I am extremely proud and honored to know this entire family because they embody such amazing Black love, such amazing Black love. And they do the hard work. It looks easy. It looks good on social media. You make it look easy. Just in this brief time, just to hear the love and the intentionality that the both of you have poured into your families. And I mean, and if you think about, what Kiersten said, talk about wise beyond years. You know what I'm saying? Like that is growth in and of itself. And she's got great parents that are responsible for that. In addition to the other villagers that have poured into this family. And I am so glad that this is a shining narrative and example of a Black family that you don't see a lot. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for the work that you're doing in the house. It shows. And now the world will get to hear about it here on Dip with Sweet and Hot. Y'all are breaking down stereotypes and I love it. I definitely love it. I love this Black love between this mother and this daughter. Listen, y'all, Kiersten, Geri, thank you for being our guest. This was such a treat. Yeah, and this conversation was like even more rich than I thought that it would be. So love from me to you both for joining us for this episode.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And from me to you and Kiersten, Auntie Hollee, I'll see you at school. Bye, girl.
All right, family, that's it. Listen, you got kids, you got a mama, go hug them.
Go love on them.
Go love on them. And until next time.
I wish I could see this hug.
Yes.
I love it.
I got to get the screenshot. Come on, hug again.
One more time. Get a good screenshot. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah. It's all right for the promo.
All right.
With that said, I am Hollee Chanel.
I'm Melanie Lauren, and this is Dips with Sweet and Hot. See you next time.
See y'all later.